Okay, it's time we had a chat about these. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to 40 Runs. Now, have you ever been away and then your lips get chapped? Look at my lips, they're so sore. I've got this stuff, but it's not really doing it. Can you let me know in the comments if you've got anything that will sort my lips out from my holiday? Anyway, right, random, right? Typical 40 Runs video. Okay, so look, I wanted to come back and talk to you about these. We mentioned in the mail video we did, whenever it was, that these have arrived. And I wanted to get some, I don't know, different mileage in them and think about it and stew over this shoe before I made a video. So if you haven't got a clue what this shoe is, this is the Nike Pegasus Turbo Next Nature. This is a 50% recycled shoe, according to Nike, and modelled on the Pegasus Turbo, which was probably or arguably one of the best running shoes ever made. Now, they brought this back to a big fanfare. People have been waiting for this, and there's been, mixed opinion on the shoe. But for me, I almost want to forget that this is related to the Pegasus Turbo. I think what Nike have done here is use the Pegasus Turbo to sort of set off all our emotions and get us to buy the shoe because we think it's going to be something like the Pegasus Turbo. But I'm just going to put that out there now. This is nothing like the Pegasus Turbo of old. Now, that's not to say that I'm going to go off on a usual 40 rant about Nike at the moment. You might be surprised, so stick around to the end of the video. But in terms of the differences not the differences, what they've got in common, there's very little apart from this stripe here and the name. That's about the only thing that they've got in common. Right, so before we get into what it's like and that kind of stuff, let's talk quickly about the stats and features. So 50% of this is allegedly recycled. The ZoomX in here is off-cuts, so stuff that's apparently fallen on the floor in the Nike factory, which they've then stuck in here. So it's not like it's broken down shoes or anything like that. So that's what Nike is saying. I don't know that myself. We've got a carrier foam in here. We've got the old faithful SRO2. We've got, let's say, this, what's the best way? Yeah, knit upper on the shoe with this like fly wire integrations along the side. We've got a integrated one-piece tongue as well, so it's not like gusseted, it's all stitched in. Can you see that? It is probably the hardest shoe to put on, apart from maybe the Alpha Fly, but at least the Alpha Fly, you've got a pull tab at the back. It is a pain in the bum to put on. Laces are ridiculously long. You don't need those laces that long, so I'd recommend switching them out. What is nice, you've got, somebody said on one of the videos, I'm sure they did, or on one of the reviews, that they've got some ZoomX around the heel. It's really comfortable, the padding around the heel. We've got a waffle, whatever it's called, rubber outsole. We've got exposed SRO2 there, which has already got a lump, not going to come out, lump out of it from where we had them out on that run, the long run. But yeah, it looks okay. I wouldn't say it looks the most durable, but it looks okay. If you compare this, for example, to Puma Grip, it's like night and day. It's over 10 ounces in my UK 9.5. It's £145, I think, here in the UK on the Nike store. Fits true to size for me. No problems in terms of fit. Oh yeah, there is one issue, but I'll come on to that in terms of fit. And I think that's about it in terms of the stats and features. I must applaud Nike quickly before we get into the next bit. Of doing the nature stuff. I would say just stand alone. I think to try and do this sustainability route, yes, you could argue it's marketing, that sort of stuff, but I do think that it is a positive movement. It is something that we need to do and we need to move into and do more of. So yeah, I take my hat off to Nike, even though some of it is obviously marketing. Okay, so the Turbo and the Turbo 2 was, as I said, arguably the best shoe ever made by Nike. And they could literally do everything and people were racing in them, right? Up-tempo shoe, and you could literally just do, yeah, everything in it. It was incredible. Now, this shoe is not anything relatable to that. This is a daily trainer, right? Whatever way you look at it, it's daily trainer, sort of looking a little bit more towards sort of everyday use, just like fashion shoe. It is a tough ask for it in terms of saying it is a sort of up-tempo shoe. That said, watch Ben's Running's video. He nailed it. Look at his paces. The guy's just insane. I love you, Ben, that he did in this shoe. So you can do them, right? But for me, you know, I'm looking at other shoes for that sort of work. This, for me, is actually quite a nice daily trainer in terms of the sort of first impressions I get from it. Why? because I've done some short runs in it, and then I did an 18, well, it was just under, I think, but mile long run in it. Now, I need, from a daily trainer, something that literally do everything, and it seems like this shoe can do that. The ZoomX is not really ZoomX, it's firmer. It feels like a blend of something that's not ZoomX. It feels, what's the best similarity to it? Yeah, probably the Vomero. It's probably a close sort of feeling that I get from the shoe. That's not a bad thing, by the way. But yes, the feeling from it is not ZoomX, but it's not anything bad. It's not anything negative. It's quite comfortable. It's actually quite nice on those runs, and it was, you know, particularly, I wouldn't say enjoyable, but it was comfortable over that long run that we did in the shoe. I did have some issues with it. I got it here on the lateral side of this right shoe here. This felt really tight, and it wasn't giving me pain, but it was giving me discomfort. That will go, I think, as we bed them more in. I also think actually the ZoomX and the midsole and the compound will, yeah, just come more to you the longer you run. It's a bit like React, it comes to you. So I think there is that to think about in terms of the feeling from the shoe. I think we reviewers, we try and rush these, you know, reviews out to give you, firstly we're trying to get views, but to try and give you the first impressions. But I think with this shoe, as much as all the others, they'll come more as the more we run into it. But yeah, so I got that feeling from the shoe that it needs some more time. But yeah, over the 18 miles, for argument's sake, it was good. It was comfortable-ish, and it just felt fine. But for me, you know, the feeling I get from this shoe is 100% daily trainer. Look, so I'm not being negative about it. I think you got to separate this between the original turbos and this. They're totally worlds apart, right? So like I said at the start, the only real things are the name and this stripe here. Just disconnect the two completely, right? This is a daily trainer from Nike that you could argue that we didn't need, but it is all right. There's nothing bad here. £145, it's expensive. You can get daily trainers for less than that that will do a better job. So, you know, you've got to think about what you want to do. Personally, as always, if you're going to spend £145, pay that little bit more and get the Endorphin Speed 3 or the Puma Deviate Nitro 2. You know, that's a better way to go. But you know, on a standalone basis, looking at this shoe on a standalone basis, forgetting the Pegasus Turbo name, it's an alright daily trainer. I like the fact that they're going down the sustainability route, and I like, you know, how the shoe looks and things like that. But yeah, it's frustrating in terms of trying to use the name, trying to use ZoomX to get us to buy the shoes. We all get sucked into it. But overall, the shoe's not bad. There's nothing I can really, you know, overly negative say about the shoe. It's really bad English, but yeah, there's nothing apart from, you know, the odd bit and bobs here. But it's comfortable and it works as a daily trainer for me. So that's my first impressions on this. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? How are you getting on with it? Is it a fashion shoe? Have you sent them back to Nike? All that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's my first impressions of this shoe, the Pegasus Nature. I just think it's got nothing to do or nothing in common with the Pegasus Turbo. You've got to forget that, but at the same time, it's not a bad daily trainer.